All right, guys. So today I'm gonna share a video about a conversation I had the other day with a guy that I met in Warsaw, also a software engineer. And this guy just moved from Amsterdam to Warsaw. He works in big tech, more or less. And he was saying that in Amsterdam, he felt like there was more of a tech scene and more tech jobs and so on. And this to me was a bit surprising because managing the job board, I see more roles in Poland than in the Netherlands. And so I just showed him up the product basically, and then we checked a little bit the roles. So as you can see, like on here, we have all the roles from big tech companies or high frequency trading companies like IMC, and also high paying scale ups in some cases, and so on. So what I did was, select a city. So we went and select Amsterdam, and then we saw that there were 120 roles. And I showed him like, yeah, look, all the good roles are here. So don't worry that something is not here. There's Booking, there's Snapchat, there's IMC, blah blah blah, JetBrains, eBay, Miro, Iden, Flow Traders, and so on. So he was like, okay, I trust you. And then we went to Warsaw, and I showed him that there is twice the roles, even more, and there are also very good companies. There is Google, there is JetBrains, Asana, and so on. As we can quickly see here, scrolling, yes, Netflix, also Snowflake. These are all good companies and good roles. Because, for example, another thing he said was, but maybe the roles that are in Warsaw are of less quality than the ones that are in Amsterdam. But this is not true, because Netflix is a very high quality company. The only engineering office in Europe is in Warsaw. Snowflake as well. It's a very good company if you work as a backend engineer in particular. But yeah, we can see that there is, for example, a lot of Google roles. And this is actually something that I noticed while recording this video earlier in my first attempt. And then I tried something else, which is removing Google and seeing the number drop from 310 to 64. It means that there are a lot of Google jobs that skew the number quite a bit. These are real jobs, and this happens also in other locations, but it's good to bring it up. Still, 64 roles from then smaller offices, like the ones I showed before, or Affirm or MongoDB. So still quite a good number. Moreover, we also have Poland remote roles, right? So these are also present here. Let's remove Warsaw. And these are also like 17. And there's Confluent, Dropbox, Oracle, Atlassian, NVIDIA, Elastic. So there is some remote roles as well. And then another thing also is that if you are, for example, in Poland, you can also access Krakow jobs. And by the way, here we are still removing the roles. And then in Krakow also, yeah, there is a lot of roles, including Google, but not just Google. Also Confluent and Splunk has a big office here, for example. Remove Google, we're going to see more Splunk roles. Yes, Revolut as well. So yeah, this was one example on how, for example, in this case, you can quickly see if your assumptions on, let's say, Warsaw and Amsterdam are different. And in this case, we saw, well, Warsaw has more roles. Amsterdam has a more diverse market, meaning you can apply to a bigger number of companies. Yet, if you want to, for example, have a career and be in an office where you can grow for many levels, then Google Warsaw is definitely one such place because of the many roles that it has and how it's expanding and the size of it. So these are all variables that you can kind of draw from this job board. From using it for your doubts. And then another thing, for example, in the case of Warsaw, is that you can go here on the remote jobs page, and then, for example, you can select Europe and global. And this page is a bit new, so some things are not super precise, like this role in Bangalore and so on. But most of the roles are correct, right? Remote Europe. And these are all companies that can pay 6 figures for remote roles. And if you are in Warsaw, you can access those, right? And it's going to make sense for you to work such a role. You can oftentimes get into a B2B contract and pay like under 20% of taxes, have a 6-figure role. So they are competitive, actually better than the big tech roles that you have in the main page, in the case you are in Poland. But if you are in Amsterdam, that's not the case, right? Because that's not the case because, as you can see, the salaries in Amsterdam are higher. Like even if you are entry level to mid level, this is when I don't know if it is entry level or mid level, then you already get a six-figure salary. So in that case, if you're a senior and you get 100K or 150K, it's not that competitive, because as a senior in Amsterdam, you can get close to 200K. Actually, in this case, IMC pays even more, but Windows system maybe not. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is that in the case of this conversation, the assumption that Amsterdam has more roles, not really, because Poland had, yeah, actually more roles. And even if you don't want to work at Google and therefore you have fewer roles, you still have access to all the remote roles, still meaning you have a very large market to take in. So I kind of liked this way in which the job board could just show you like data about your assumption and help you make decisions around your tech career. So I just wanted to share that.